Hello again and welcome to Greenfingers. Today I'm going to do the entire program on just eucalyptus. The eucalypts are the character of the Australian landscape, and I'm going to try and specialise today's program in some of our more colourful varieties, that is the showier varieties for around the homestead or just around the house. Now there's a position in every garden or a position in your garden for every eucalypt. So there's you can put them alongside the fence for shade, windbreak, screening. It goes on and on. Just pollution, wind pollution, noise pollution, it's on and on. And as I go through the program, I'll describe some of the varieties and some of the positions you can put them in. So firstly, to begin with, Eucalyptus caesia, the commonly known now as silver princess, is one of our famous ornamental eucalypts. Would be more ornamental than a shade tree type. Say 5 to 7 metres. It's a really good one. Now, one of the main features about that one, I'd like to say, is that when you plant these, leave them well dressed. Don't try and trim them up straight away. When you put in a plant, preferably as small as possible, don't try and make it straight into a leader and get a trunk into it straight away. Let it grow naturally and be well dressed in a bushy type for the first year at least, and possibly the second year. Let it be bushy, and you'll find that it'll be a lot better. The leaves strengthen the trunk, so it's very detrimental to the tree to leave all the leaves on and not stake it and trim it up and make it like a bean pole as you want in the first year. And that's a very important point, and especially with that one. It does have, Eucalyptus caesia does have tends to be a little bit awkward in its growing habit. Some people like it in the natural pendulous style, and some people don't. So if you like that trunk and then it weeping back fast, don't try and do it in the first year. Give it 2 or 3 years, then you can take away some of the lower branches. And that applies especially to the ornamentals, and but to all eucalypts. And that is a very important point. Now, on some varieties, what I'll do is just give, in limited time, I can only show you 1 or 2 of each variety that will grow in your soil type. But if you wrote into Greenfingers, ABC, I've produced a list there, and you can get this list of varieties for clay, sand, gravel, or seaside. There are eucalypts, as I said, for all soil types, so there's no reason why you can't have some varieties in each soil type. And the reason why I've done that is because if you grow, say, a dry limestone eucalypt like E.erythrocorys, Eucalyptus E.erythrocorys, in a clay situation, in a waterlogged situation, it never will do as well as the others. If you pick a plant that is suitable, like this one, Eucalyptus E.woodwardii, which is suitable for clay, it's sweet. They like it. If it likes a clay situation, it'll just go crazy, and you'll have a really strong specimen there, and it won't look weedy. But this particular specimen I picked in the sand, and it just doesn't look right. It always looks a little bit weedy. So select the ones for your own soil type. If I've got it to clay, those ones will be good for you. Now on to some of our most really spectacular eucalypts. I'd say that this one would be one of our most famous eucalypts, in Eucalyptus tetraptera. This commonly called the square-fruited mallee. And you can see there how it's derived its name from the square fruits. It's actually the colour of the fruit that's giving it the brightness, and the flower is really insignificant. They're tiny little flowers. But with these large leathery leaves, it's a really showy ornamental mallee. Now, to explain a mallee there, a mallee is a eucalypt that has many trunks. It comes up from the lignotuber, which is the bulb at the base of the ground. All country people would understand the mallee root system, but that is where it comes from. It just keeps shooting up from the ground, and it's like a shrub. So there's no point in trying to train that into a tree. So it's going to keep producing new stems all the time. So that's a mallee. Now another one planted next to it, that'll grow in all soil types, but preferably gravel would probably be the best, but as I said, a lot of them are adaptable and will grow in most soil types. But the next one in E.preissiana, which is called the bell-fruited mallee, derives its name from, you can see there, the bell-fruited seed pods there in the shape of a bell. Now E.preissiana, with its vivid bright yellow flowers, it's only a small one to 2 metres. It's only a little mallee, an excellent one, planted together in association. If you planted one of each together, you've got the red and the yellow coming through each other. They harmonise and blend in very well, those two. Now, position for those two, you could use them up against the Super 6. You could treat it them as a shrub, or put them in the shrubbery. But they're very ideal. And those two I would treat as a shrubbery. Now, a lot of people have planted the Tasmanian blue gum and been disappointed, and it's cost a lot of money if you have to pull it down in future years. They look beautiful in the first few years, but then as they lose those juvenile or young leaves and go into the big gum leaf, they don't look as attractive. But if you're looking for a gum with blue-grey foliage and you want it to stay like that all the time, one I would suggest would be E.crucis. This particular one is an excellent little tree to 20 feet, 15 to 20 feet, and it forms a nice trunk and a nice spread, and as I said, retains that beautiful blue foliage. And a good point there to remember, if you're not sure on heights, the electric wires, the telegraph poles, where the wires are, that is 25 feet, 8 metres from the ground. So if you're not sure on a height, and some nurseries have different heights in their catalogues, but if you look it up and you're chasing for something for, say, 20 feet, 25 feet is an ideal size shade tree. That's a good gauge. So when you're driving around and you see a tree, just link it up with the electric wires and you'll get a gauge of whether it's 25. If it's double that, well, it's 50 feet. Something like a lemon-scented gum would be 50 feet. So if you were planting your bigger trees, plant them like the lemon-scented and river gums and those type of things to 50 feet. Make sure you plant them on the northern side, a little bit as far away as the house as you can, because you get maximum shade from the northern side, and that's important. In a lot of cases, people just put them in the centre of the lawn and they're shading 2 or 3 neighbours away, so it's pointless. With the big ones, plant them on the north side. With a lot of the eucalypts, there's some, as I said, some very spectacular little mallees. Another one is E.rhodantha. That's another 1 to 2 metres, open, and very ornamental and very spectacular little red flowers. That would be one of the daintiest little ornamental eucalypts we have. There's not a lot to say about it. It's just got those nice grey ovate leaves, and it's a very open little eucalypt. I'd say put that one in a shrubbery and it'll go fairly good. It will blend in with all shrubs, or in with all of the mallees that I've just talked about. As I said, the diversity of foliage type in eucalypts, it's great. And you can see there, this one's all got this attractive narrow foliage, in E.spathulata, the gimlet. Its main attribute would be it has an umbrella shape. That's another beauty about the eucalypts. You can have them as mallees, as straight up pole types, or you can have them in an umbrella shape. And this particular one is exceptionally good in heavy soils and grows very good in the gravel situation. And that's E.spathulata with its fine foliage there. As I said, there's some have even got attractive fruits, and you can see there, this one, E.tetraptera, has got this beautiful, has bunches of beautiful grey nuts, and it just covers the whole bush, and just that feature alone it would be worthy of growing that one in E.tetraptera. The thing about all of these, if you prune them, a lot of people have had well, not dissension, but they're not sure whether they should prune them at this time of the year. If the winds are blowing them around and they don't look safe, I definitely would snip them back. And you can be quite safe with cutting all eucalypts back right to this hard type wood. That's no worries. You don't have to tip prune them all the time. You could cut them right back to that secondary wood, and it's no worries with all of those. And they're excellent vase picking ones too. They look really good in a vase. So if you've got just a gum tree in the garden, I would recommend making a vase of it. It looks really good. As I said in pruning, the Eucalyptus E.erythrocorys is just finishing flowering now, and I would recommend, as you're driving around, you'd see these great big branches with all the seed pods on, and they're so heavy that I would recommend that you cut those off every year or every second year. So bring them back to, say, 3 or 4 feet, and you'll find that by reducing that, you'll have take that back to about that size, like that, and you'll find it'll get away, and you'll have a better shape next year, and that'll shoot up and flower straight away in Eucalyptus E.erythrocorys. If you're wanting a gum with a weeping habit, that one there, Eucalyptus sepulchralis, would be the most weeping gum we have. Look at that, weeps right to the ground from the top to the bottom in Eucalyptus sepulchralis. It's a really attractive one. So you can see the versatility of our gums from the colourful range, grey foliage, big leaves, shade trees. That one there to replace a weeping willow would be a really good one, preferably in a heavy soil, that one there. So to end the program, I think we should talk about Eucalyptus E.ficifolia, the red flowering gum. This particular one is out of season, as it normally flowers in summer, but this particular one is an exceptionally good one, ideal. In the past, there's been a lot of criticism about planting them, but they're doing exceptionally well now in the red flowering gum. So there's an interesting range of eucalypts, and I hope that makes you look forward to planting a few in the near future. So from now, cheerio.